whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clips. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference. Right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass. Yes, sir. Yes. Right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
Oh, what's going on, family? That is courtesy. Of course, all rights go to ESPN, but this is fair use, which allows for the distribution for purposes of educational or testing, which is what we're doing. Welcome everyone to another exciting edition of Random Topic Sundays. Well, we're only going to be talking about one topic. I don't intend to be up here too long. I know this is a last minute thing. I wanted to come on to talk with y'all. What's going on, fam? I needed to talk with y'all about. I'll put my camera on. I'll go ahead and put my camera on so you can see my beautiful face. What's going on, family? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, DeAndre Mosley? Welcome to an exciting edition of Random Topic Sundays here on channel gboot2786. I'd ask you all too, if you would like to, as you know, whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe, to please, I need you all to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so when we go live, you get the notifications. And also, if you care to, we have channel is not monetized. So if you would like to donate to our channel, if you would like to participate in our channel, you can do so by donating to Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, or show your support. If you like what we're doing up here, pay me for my time. I'm not asking for a handout, but I am asking for support. Shout out to Computer Robots, DeAndre Mosley, everybody that's in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you. If you're tuning in right now, we're going live today. I want to also say we're talking about Deion Sanders, but even more beyond to wish my father, Leon Richard, it is for a minute. So if you all comment section, very happy birthday, my father, who is out there watching Sunday Night Football or whatever on his phone. I don't know what he's doing at this point, but wish Dad a happy birthday. I'm gonna wish him a happy birthday, many, many more in return, Father. You've been an inspiration to me and my brother, my brother Chad. The things that you have put in and given to us are things that I will pass on if I'm lucky to my own children. But you've been an upstanding father, an upstanding husband to my mom, and a great grandfather at that. And this was actually last year at my father's 70th birthday party. I'll share with y'all. This is a photo of my family. So we all had a great time at his birthday party. That's my brother Chad and his wife, I, and their two boys. So happy, thank you. If I get time, I'm gonna check it out a little bit later today. We're gonna there's something wrong. I think I'm getting a delay. One time to talk about this Sunday, it is football Sunday, and we know, of course, some of you may or may not be watching NFL football. In light of what's happened with Colin Kaepernick. Breaking out. YouTube doesn't like a lot of things. As I was saying, we call this hateration, as you saw from my thumbnail. I call this hateration because, and I've been sharing this on YouTube, on Twitter as well. I call this hateration because we're talking about what's going on with our brother Prime, Coach Prime, out in college football. Now, he has been the talk of the town ever since he took this job with Colorado last year, while he was at Jackson State, and promised to leave during the Black Championship when he had a press conference. Prime has taken over, and people have been saying all kinds of things against Prime's return or playing, coaching in the football team, especially in the NCAA conference, like the Pac-10. And Colorado, which was right, I believe, coming into the game against Oregon. Now, you watched the game yesterday. I watched football. Oregon, Colorado. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. 40 was the final score. And they were getting to the post. Oregon had their with Prime, and his team, and Sanders was hit, sacked that I counted at least 4 or 5 times. Probably hit more than that, but they couldn't get anything going. And the Oregon coach, as I played in that video earlier, Dan Lanning, basically took a shot at Coach Prime and his team, talking about they're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. He didn't hold back. Now, it is not uncommon, especially with these football teams, with all the adrenaline and testosterone going on, that one team will take a shot against the other. Coaches try to fire up their guys. They'll blast them. Clearly, this was done on purpose, and they had been doing this for a while. I mean, last week, you had the Colorado State coach taking a shot at Prime because, whenever I go in a press conference, I was talking about my parents to wear my glasses, take my glasses off, and don't wear them inside. Take off my hat. Take off my hat, take off my glasses. And he said, going in and out. Okay. Let me see something. You all know I'm in a poor part of my house. I'm in the studio room. And while I have the Wi-Fi connected and I have a extension, that could affect the pitch as well. Although I see I got all 5 up. So let me do this. Don't go there. I'm coming right back. Let's see if, as you said, I'm boarding in and out. That's not good. So let me see what I can do. Hold on. I'll be back, y'all. All right. I'm trying again. Can you hear me? How am I? All right. Okay, well, what I did was, no, I'm not changing the location. What I did with the Wi-Fi here, with our service, we have 3 different ones. So I have the main one, and then there's 2 extensions. So I just hit one extension. Sometimes it doesn't work like talking about it, but I just pressed on it. So if I'm good now and I'm not lagging, you all can see me. So we're gonna keep it going. But let me say this. Okay, yeah, I'm doing good. So let me say this. I was talking about Coach Prime, and I showed you all the video earlier from that coach from Oregon. And just basically what we saw yesterday, I mean, from the loss, everybody has been going at Coach Prime. And like I said, he's fallen out. Colorado, the new NCAA rankings, Colorado has fallen out. Now it's not surprising because they lost to a top 5 football team. Uh, Oregon, well, I should say top 10. Oregon, I think, was going into that game was ranked 10th, and Colorado was about 18th or 19th. Colorado is not in the top 25 anymore. Now, this happens when depending on the teams that they face and other teams as well, how well they do. Sometimes they'll go up. Georgia is still number one, and Coach Prime, though, however, he took his whipping, if you want to call it that, or well, he took his team's beating in stride, and he had a message for his haters. The Coach Prime is not giving up on his team, and look, he said there was no excuses for this butt kicking. They got their asses whipped. He said it. He ate humble pie. He used to talk about that on NFL Network. He used to use that term. So they got whipped. They got whipped. He's man enough to admit that. So, but people are acting like this is the end of the road for Colorado. They said the fairy tale, this Cinderella story is over. That's what the coach said. But the game has just started. Deion Sanders has just started coaching his team. He has taken this team from obscurity. This team has not had a winning season, not even a time when they started 3-0 since Cordell Stewart was the quarterback. Do y'all know how long ago that was? They've been in obscurity. They have not had a winning season in a long time. They haven't had a winning season in the past few years. Yeah, to sell out their games. I'm sorry. They haven't had a sellout since Cordell Stewart was quarterback. But Coach Prime had a message for all the haters. I'm going to play that.
No excuses, no nothing. Their coaches did a heck of a job preparing their team. Obviously, we didn't. That was good. I mean, that was a really good old-fashioned butt kicking. We went into the game wanting to dominate several phases. We lost offensively, defensively, as well as special teams. That fake punt kind of got them really rolling, and they didn't stop ever since they secured that first down. Well-coached team. Bo Nix played his butt off. Defensively, they presented some things that I guess we just couldn't get around. We couldn't advance the ball, rushing or throwing the ball as well. Seemed like they had our number. But hats off to their coaching staff, to their head coach. Great job, and they're truly prepared. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now. Now, I got messengers. God bless him, though, man. He's a great coach. He did a great job. God bless him. He take their shots. They won. I don't shoot. I don't do that. They won.
We're fighting for wins. Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Dan, that's about as dominant as it gets in all three phases. There's a lot to be impressed by. What impressed you most?
Not done yet. We were composed. We executed at a really high level, but not done yet. We're not satisfied. I hope all those people that have been watching every week are watching this week.
I think they are. What did you think of Bo's efficiency there in the first half?
Bo's an elite quarterback. Hopefully the nation sees that today.
Thanks for the time.
Appreciate y'all.
Not done yet. We're not satisfied. That's a scary.
That's how it is on a football field. But I got to tell y'all something too. Oregon, number one, they are not even in and haven't, although they are contenders, they're not and have not been in the top four. They did not win the national championship and have not won a national championship in some time. I think the last time they were in the national championship conversation, or they went, might have been when Marcus Mariota was the quarterback, excuse me. Yep, and they lost. Mario Cristobal was the coach. So the national championship, trying to see here. Now I'm just going through this, and look, Dan Lanning just became the coach back in 2021. He was there when he was actually from Georgia. He was a defensive coordinator for Georgia, and Georgia is number one in the NCAA right now. They're the number one ranked team in college football. Nobody expected, even me, as much as I have rode for Coach Prime, nobody expects Coach Prime. When you say a Cinderella story would be Colorado going to the national championship undefeated and winning. That's a Cinderella story because none of us expected, I don't think, Coach Prime to actually have a perfect season. And that is not the definition of winning. That is not just the only thing of winning. When you can transform a team from relative obscurity and produce the most watched college football game that was not even a playoff game, and make that the number one viewing of that weekend, you're doing something right. People are paying attention to you. People are watching you. And so when you have that, you will have people that come out and say, you're arrogant, you're cocky, you're too much. And Deion Sanders responded to that. And I'm going to play this clip. Deion Sanders, everybody knows, has always been a confident, arrogant guy. You know, he always talks like, Coach Prime, nothing's wrong with him. Because he's confident in his game, and they don't like a black man that exudes confidence, machismo. When you stand up for yourself, when you're a man's man, like Muhammad Ali, like Jim Brown. Now, I saw Boyce Watkins' video where he said, stop comparing Deion Sanders to Muhammad Ali. And I will respond to that, and I will say, I don't think, and yes, there are people, and I will show you all the article. There were some people who drew some comparisons to Deion Sanders and the response he's gotten. And I think it has more to do with the response that he's gotten is very similar to that of Ali. And there are some similarities, I can just say, but the way of their personality, like Muhammad Ali was called the Louisville Lip. He was known for talking too much and being cocky and arrogant. That's the way he was perceived. But Ali backed up everything he did when he was in the ring and even outside the ring. Hold on. But this is what Coach Prime had to say.
A player knows. I mean, he could fool himself and trick himself, but when he looks at the mirror, he knows what he's looking at. Something like this is I'm not going to say, you know, people around the country would say this is what they needed to humble themselves. We wasn't arrogant or whatever. We're confident people. If our confidence offends your insecurity, that's the problem with you. It's not us. We expect to do well. We expect to play well. We expect to win every game we step out there. We expect to practice to perfection and go out there and execute the things that we practice. We just didn't do it today. But it's not something that was needed. It's just like saying you get in a car wreck or something. Oh, he needed that to slow him down. You don't need that. It's just stupid. It's just something that happened, and they got the best of us today. That's just it.
So what I wanted to say is there have been people who have been comparing Deion Sanders with Muhammad Ali and discussing the hate that he has gotten. So, for instance, and Muhammad Ali and Deion Sanders actually met Muhammad Ali. He talked about it. And Arizona Republic, they wrote an article saying, what do Deion Sanders, Muhammad Ali, and Donald Trump have in common? A lot. This was by Greg Moore. And he says, this is what he had to say. He said, Deion Sanders is brash, outspoken, and polarizing. People either love the guy or they love to hate. Sounds familiar. It should. It hasn't been long since Muhammad Ali's 2016 death in Scottsdale after a long fight with Parkinson's. Ali died a hero, but he certainly did not start that way. I would say Ali was more hated than loved among white audiences, certainly among white sports writers, said Jonathan Agg, author of the definitive recent biography, Ali, A Life. Ali became a beloved humanitarian, but he started as the Louisville Lip, a loudmouth who needed a fist or two to shut that big mouth of his, at least for a certain segment of American society. He wouldn't play the game of false humility. He was the first one to call himself the greatest long before his accomplishments had caught up to his ambitions. White sports writers were not used to seeing a black man speak this way, and they had a hard time with it, Hicks said. They were offended by it. They thought it was childish, unsportsmanlike, that he was putting on airs that he had no right to. It was the same attitude Sanders dealt with after his first victory as the coach of University of Colorado, upsetting a top 20 team where he scolded a skeptical reporter by saying, "Do you believe now?" Ike hasn't followed closely, but he is aware of what's going on. It seems like a lot of people are loving Deion's outspoken nature, his bold talk, and some people are a little put off by it, Ike said. It's not the first time we've seen this with black athletes or black people in positions of power. Similar to Ali, Sanders has connected with Black America. Yeah, Deion Sanders, I would agree with that. He has connected with Black America. He has, he has his sidelines, at his home game. It was filled with celebrities. He's had people from Offset to Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, um, Wu-Tang Clan to stop by. I think Fat Joe, the rapper, and Busta Rhymes, they've come out there, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people have come out there because Prime, even when he was a player, he attracted, especially when he was in Atlanta, I never forget this, they attracted so many people, uh, you know, MC Hammer and other, I remember when MC Hammer went to the playoff game that Atlanta had with the Redskins, the Too Legit to Quit. Yeah, all of those people would be out with Atlanta because Prime just had that personality. And they've had people say things, they say by the time we play USC, it's going to look like the BET Awards, Sanders said on a short clip floating around TikTok. Also similar to Ali, for all the people who think Sanders is a windbag, there are plenty who love him. Very different stories depending on who's your audience. With Ali, among black audiences, this was exciting because he was somebody who flexes his muscles a little bit. Now, but why? Why should anyone, black or white, be offended by Sanders? The short answer is racism. I thankfully provides a little bit more context. There are centuries of histories there. Centuries have established a caste system, a system who ranks who has power and who doesn't. The white power structure is interested in maintaining that white power structure. And when a black voice comes up shouting, "Hey, I don't have to play by those rules," some people get uncomfortable. See, racism. And he says there are others, and this is the comparison to Trump. He says there is another brash, outspoken public figure who divides people along racial lines. I've always said that I see a lot of parallels between Ali and Donald Trump. Ike said, ego bordering on narcissism, confidence that whatever they say and do is going to work out. That confidence is a beautiful thing, but it can also be an arrogant thing. It could get you in trouble. I see a lot of parallels there, but I don't know where Deion fits in that comparison. But there's a very fine line between confidence and narcissism, and sometimes you got to walk along that line to find out where you fit. So he goes further and raises similarities between Ali and Trump. So he says people point out a couple of big differences. Ali could laugh at himself and Trump can't. Ali loved people, loved all people, loved being around people. Trump seems to mostly want to be surrounded by psychopaths. I think there are some big differences. I get some pushback on it, but I think people agree there are some common threads. Ali became loved as people got to know him, especially around Phoenix. He was a fixture at Suns games and was known to pull pranks from the sideline. Perhaps it'll be that way with Sanders too, that people will love him more they know and understand him. Who knows? Ali didn't start getting appreciation from white America until he had suffered financially and physically. That means Sanders might have to take some losses before he starts getting the love he deserves. And this reporter says he's rooting for Sanders the way he rooted for Ali. I love it when he says, "I told you so." I love that he refuses to play the game of false humility. I love that he's changing the face of college football. Abe, for his part, will be watching. Now, now I will say this. There is a issue, I guess the only issue I would say between Deion Sanders, what's going on, One Who Cares, and Computer Robots, y'all are in here tonight. The main difference, obviously, between Muhammad Ali and Deion Sanders is what? Deion Sanders did not and has not faced the risk of going to prison. Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali actually was willing to throw away the world heavyweight title. He did throw away the heavyweight title for a cause to prevent an enormous amount of black men from dying over in Vietnam. Now, of course, he couldn't save them all, but he did not want his brothers and sisters, and especially him, fighting what he thought was an unjust war that most people now realize the Americans were never going to win. And we lost that war in the first place. And Muhammad gave up the heavyweight title. He lost millions of dollars. He lost deals, endorsements. He actually had to turn to acting, going into theater. He did participate in the stage production and the movie The Great White Hope with James Earl Jones. He was actually a sparring partner in the movie. And he suffered greatly as a result of it. But Brother Ali was willing to put that on the line, put for his morals, for his principles, because as a black man, he did not want his people to die unjustly, especially for a country at that time who has not given a damn for them. As he said, ain't no Viet Cong ever called me you know what. And so I would say in that regard, that's where the comparison between Deion Sanders and Muhammad Ali stops. And, Muhammad Ali, I think, did much more for the black community than Deion Sanders ever did, as a hero, what he was put on the lines, what he gave to charities. And I'm not saying that, not to say Deion Sanders has not given back to the black community, because he has. He coached at the HBCU at Jackson State. And I think there's also some resentment because some of us would have loved to see Deion stay. I would have loved to see him stay at the HBCU, but I also know this is business. And like he always said, it must be the money. Every NFL team, ladies and gentlemen, didn't win the Super Bowl with a perfect record. They lost. Now, in college football, it's obviously different because you have these top ranked teams competing against each other from the AP polls that they have, where they're ranked, the bowl games they have, the strength of schedules. So it's much, much different than the NFL in that sense. But Deion Sanders has done something amazing and he's being hated on for it. Jason Whitlock, we know, I did a whole video about it. He's a professional hater. Coach Prime even has Warren Sapp coming to his team. Warren Sapp has stated he wants to coach the defensive line. Great. Warren Sapp is a Hall of Famer. Warren Sapp could get that D-line, something that was missing. He could get that defensive line in shape. So he's doing something positive. He's doing something great with this school, and he's turned it around. And like always, when a black man turns something around, especially that miserable, he does a great job, there are going to be people who are going to hate. There are going to be people who are going to dislike it, who are not going to support you with anything that you do when you're successful. But you keep on keeping on. So yeah, they've had these articles, but that's where I would say the comparison between Deion and Muhammad stops. But I could see what the reporter was trying to bring. Now he wrote that back on September 15th, and I can see from the trolls, yeah, everybody stopped loving only like Muhammad Ali. Nick Wright even said this. Muhammad Ali was loved only when he stopped talking. And that meant he was admired because he was sick. People felt sorry for him. Same thing with Richard Pryor. Everybody loved Richard Pryor when Richard Pryor got MS. They couldn't see that this black man was talking the way he did. Go look up that video. I can't find it, but Nick Wright, when Muhammad Ali died, he was on Colin Cowherd's show, and I remember this. He actually said everybody liked Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali stopped talking. I think this is it here. Okay, so I'm gonna play this all, and look, I'm gonna may get in trouble. I've not the first time, but this is a video I'm gonna play. This is what Nick Wright said about Muhammad Ali, and I was impressed with what he said. So much respect to him. Hold on.
Athletes today don't want to take stands when it's easier. He took one that was risky. I think people undersell how risky it was. He wasn't just risking his career and his fortune. We were living in a time of political assassination.
Yes.
Like, no one would have been shocked if Ali was killed for what he stood for.
That's right.
And I got to say, I've been really, I think angered's the right word, at some of the tributes to him because I find them so disingenuous. Because we have a lot of people, politicians, media, fans, who if there was a 25-year-old Muhammad Ali today, they would hate him.
Absolutely.
Where do you think Muhammad Ali would stand on Black Lives Matter? He would stand on the side of Black Lives Mattering.
Yeah.
Where do you think Muhammad Ali would stand on the side of Muslims shouldn't be allowed in this country? I think he would disagree with it. So a lot of people that hate Black Lives Matter, that espouse the view that Muslims, they're a little scary to us. Those people this weekend were waving the flag of Muhammad Ali because it was the popular, easy thing to do, and it was gross. Those people would have hated Muhammad Ali before, as Jim Brown put it, Muhammad Ali was hated until he lost his ability to speak. And so there were a lot of people who were jumping on that bandwagon because it was popular, that they knew in their heart of hearts, they disagreed with everything he stood for. I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play all of it, but yeah, that's essentially what he's saying. Everybody loved Muhammad Ali when he stopped talking. That's what Muhammad Ali, people like Ali when you can, because it was the popular thing to do, that they start waving the flag. Now, when it comes to Deion Sanders, I mean, look, the man still has plenty of football left in him. This is not the end for Coach Prime, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Prime, I think, is going to come back stronger. I think they're going to do great. I'm still impressed with what he has done, how he's transformed this team from nowhere. And his son's doing great. And, they're coming at the sons too. Shador, who's the quarterback. And he didn't have a great day, but I mean, that offensive line sucked. That offensive line and even Prime Note said this, that offensive line was terrible blocking. So they don't like. Deion Sanders was sacked 7 times. It's hard to move a ball down the field if you're getting sacked 7 times. And yeah, I mean, look, he's had Terrell Owens come support. He's had all of these people. I have nothing but love and respect for Coach Prime. And look, I will extend, because this is my platform, I will always extend to anybody. I'm never going to say people can't come on, but I would love to have Coach Prime come on the show one day if he would grace us with our time. That would be great. Or even Terrell Owens, because I see T.O. is going at Stephen A. Smith. Terrell Owens. I respected Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is a beast. I'm sorry, I was just texting someone. Yeah. So Deion is doing these great things. I'm sorry, and he's getting flack for it. But black people, this is what we got to go through, especially when we're in their game and their system. But we play it to beat it, even if it is rigged. And Coach Prime, don't be surprised. I would say he has, and he's under. And by the way, Coach Prime is underpaid. By the way, those coaches. Let's look at Dan. Like those coaches, like Lanning, for example. Dan Lanning, his contract. He has a 6-year, $29.1 million contract. Remember, the brother from Michigan State who got fired, Mel Tucker. He's getting $90 million for 10 years. Nick's highest paid college coaches. The highest paid college coach, Dabo, is Nick Saban gets $11.7 million a year. Prime is not getting that amount. This is the so 11.5 million. Saban is set to make. So Saban made 10.95 million last year. The year before that, he made 9.75. Now Nick Saban has the credentials to make that because Alabama, if you always, and even if you don't follow college football, you know from the news and press, they've won about, under Nick Saban, they won about 5 championships. And he has the credentials and the muster to get that. So him, Dabo Sweeney, Kirby Smart, Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, who I'm still not sold on here at LSU, Mel Tucker, Ryan Day, Jimbo Fisher, they paying him to lose, Josh Huppel, Mark Stoops, Lane Kiffin, James Franklin, Luke Fickle. So this is as of 2023. Okay, so Prime is not even in the top 25. And some of these teams, now I can see some of them, they're in the top, a few of the teams are in the top 25. I recognize some aren't. But this is Coach Prime is not even in the top 25 as far as highest paid coaches. Prime's salary at Colorado, he signed a 5-year deal at $29.5 million before incentives. So he is grossly underpaid compared to other college football coaches. So his incentives are as follows. So if Colorado wins 6 games in a year, then he gets $150,000. $100,000 for every additional win beyond the initial 6. $150,000 should Colorado win the Pac-12. $75,000 if Colorado plays in a Pac-12 championship game conference title. So those are bonuses. $150,000 if he's named national coach of the year. $75,000 if named Pac-12 Big 12 coach of the year. $50,000 every time Colorado attains a team APR of 965 or better. So what does APR stand for? APR, ladies and gentlemen, stands for academic progress rate. So the more they progress, like right now, this is college football news. Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Alabama are tied at number 1. Notice they don't even have a number 2. Everybody's 1 or 3. Wow. So each time that goes up, he gets money. So Prime is doing something, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I love Coach Prime. And I think he's going to go far. All right. But we're gonna wrap this up. I gotta get out of here, y'all. But anyway, this has been a great stream. Thank you all. Happy birthday again, Dad. But the hateration, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta come back and clap back at. I wanted to talk about that, but it's not uncommon when they send trolls and coons out like Jason Whitlock to come hate on brother Prime. You know, he has something negative to say about anybody who can walk up a flight of stairs. So everybody that likes salad, he's got an issue with. And anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. But love y'all. Of course, if you want to support this channel, you can donate to the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. You can also, I need you to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you'd like to join the Patreon, you can go to the link there and advertise with us if you have a business. Shout out to the chat from Computer Robots, DeAndre Mosley. By the way, we're going to have another comedy show coming up in October, right before Halloween. And I'm going to have all the details for y'all in the next week or so, how we're going to map that out. But that's going to be a great one. DeAndre, I'd love to see you there and a few other people if you're in the New Orleans area. We probably going to have like a little Halloween. We're going to have a Halloween comedy show with a contest probably. So we're going to make it. It's going to be special, guys. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Be one, be safe, and be blessed. I'll holla. Peace, man. Oh, before I get out of here, shout out to Flex. King Flex is in New Orleans, Tariq Nasheed, and he was talking about how he had some bad gumbo. He went to the Gumbo Bowl, the Gumbo House out here in New Orleans, and gave them a 0 rating, and basically gave them the throw up. And if you want some good gumbo, of course, the best place to go, the gumbo shop, is nowhere. Is a word of advice: never go to a place called Gumbo Shop or Gumbo Place, because even though they sell gumbo, it is not real gumbo. It is hot ass soup. Go to somebody's house, preferably like my mama's house, and you're gonna get the best gumbo. And I actually said that, and yeah, that was out in the French Quarter. Yeah, you gotta come to my gumbo. My mom makes gumbo. All right, family. We going in. We gonna support Coach Prime. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. God bless you now. Shout out to Coach Prime, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Love y'all. Peace out. I'll holla.